name is Mr. Mike. I teach social emotional learning at the Compass for Kids Blackhawk and Du Bois sites, and I'm really excited to be doing another lesson online today. And with me, as always, is my co-host.
I'm Zoe.
Zoe is my daughter. She's 9 years old, and she's a third grader at Isles. Today, what we're going to be learning about, Zoe, is called, what are your feelings fingerprints? It's probably a phrase you've never heard before, and it means, how do you know when you're feeling something? How can you tell? How does your mind react, and how does your body react? Everybody's body reacts a certain way when they feel something, and everybody's mind reacts a certain way. We're going to talk about how you know when you're feeling something strong. So feelings can be very weak. You can be a little angry, or they can be very strong. You can be very angry, right? We're going to number those feelings from 1, meaning not very, to 5, meaning very, very. Could maybe be a little happy if maybe your sandwich at lunch tastes super good. And you can be 5 happy if maybe you see your brother after he comes back from summer camp and you've missed him for weeks and weeks and weeks. So that's the idea behind a 1 and a 5. Everybody feels feelings that are 1 sometimes, and everybody feels feelings that are 5 sometimes, and sometimes we have feelings that are 4 or 3 or 2. That's okay too, right? That all happens. So Zoe, I want to ask you, can you think of a time when you had a feeling that was a 5? It doesn't have to be angry. It could be a good feeling, a bad feeling. It could be nervous or happy or excited. When have you felt a 5?
Probably when Zach was born, because I was becoming a big sister.
That's a great answer. When Zoe was, 5 years old?
Yeah, I was
5 years old.
5 months, 1 month, 1 week, and 1 day.
Yeah. She became a big sister to her brother Zachary. That is amazing. That is probably a time when I felt 5 out of excitement too. We are going to talk about why it's important to identify when you're feeling a 5. And the reason is, sometimes we don't make good decisions when we're feeling a 5. You can be too excited, or too angry, or too nervous, or too silly to make a good decision. So if you identify that you're feeling a 5, you can tell yourself, Mike, take a deep breath, calm down, and let's get ready to make a decision when we're not feeling 5 anymore. But before we get to those solutions, that's actually next lesson. We are going to be talking about how identifying when you're feeling a 5. We'll later figure out how to solve that 5 problem. So Zoe, I want you to tell me a time when you maybe felt 5 for nervous. Can you think of a time you felt 5 nervous?
Oh, I have one.
All right, go.
So, me and my friend were doing a video chat, and we were making dance steps for our songs. And then I was I was really nervous about would she like my song, because I thought maybe I wouldn't get a dance step right and I would get laughed at, and I got really scared, but then I got it out right.
Performing is absolutely a time when many people feel 5-level nervous. For me, it's speaking in front of large groups of people. When I had to get up at the PTO trivia night and thank everybody who put in all the hard work and thank everybody for coming, that made me a little bit nervous. Or at other conventions, when I've had to sort of speak in front of large groups of people, I get very nervous. Fun fact, Mr. Jordan, the principal at Blackhawk, he told me that even though he speaks in front of large groups of kids every day at school, when he has to come and talk to large groups of parents, it even makes him nervous sometimes. So everybody gets nervous, and that's okay. Some people feel nervousness just a 1 or a 2. I happen to feel nervous 5 when I have to speak in front of large groups of people. Even this YouTube video is sort of making me a little nervous, because I know that there's a chance that a lot of people might see it, right? That's a little nervous making. It's important to know ahead of time what sorts of activities could make you feel very nervous, or very frustrated, or very angry, or very happy, or very excited. One way to tell if you're feeling a 5 is that your body reacts a certain way. For me, when I get really nervous, I get a little bit dizzy, and I get a pretty big headache. Zoe, what happens when you get nervous? How does your body react?
When I get nervous, usually I feel part of this part of my arm usually, this part is sometimes shaking, because my body is like sometimes I don't know what to do with it, and it just starts to move.
Absolutely. That is one of the, in fact, that's such a common one that it's even in the book I'm reading.
Oh.
Your physical feelings, or your feelings rather, can manifest physically in a variety of ways. Headache, your heart rate could speed up, you can get an upset tummy, your hands could sweat, your knees and your body could shake, you can get shortness of breath or tightness in your chest. When you start feeling those things, it might be because you've faced what we call a trigger situation and you're starting to feel level 5 of a certain emotion. It could be extremely happy and you get shaky. It could be extremely nervous and you get shaky. But those are different ways that your body can react. Do any of those happen to you, Zoe? Do you get a nervous tummy before you have to go on stage or anything?
Yeah. So I was like about to go on in like 2 minutes, and then I like took a little like peek in front, and I noticed there were like 200 people, and so I had like what's called butterflies in my stomach, and then the only time that I got them out was when we started singing, because I love singing, and I just started singing and dancing, and it all went away.
That's really common, as you get nervous beforehand, and once it starts, the nervousness starts to go away a little bit. That can happen with a lot of situations. You can be really angry, and then as you start to do something, the anger kind of goes away a little bit, and you kind of get involved in the thing you're doing.
Yeah, like when I go into a bath.
Yeah, sometimes taking a bath, taking a nap, hugging a stuffed animal. There's a lot of ways that you can calm yourself down. Remember, talking about that next time. But identifying those feelings is really important. And the reason it's important to identify them, do you remember, Zoe? Is your body good at, are you good at making decisions or bad at making decisions when you're feeling a 5?
Because when you have a 5, sometimes you make bad decisions, and that can end up leading on to like later bad things.
Absolutely, absolutely. So knowing the situations that can make you upset or happy or nervous or mad or embarrassed, knowing which situations to look out for is important. And then knowing how your body might react is important. And I also think perhaps the most important lesson for today is knowing that those things are all normal. Getting butterflies in your tummy, shaky knees, sweaty palms, those are all normal. Not everybody feels all of them, but everybody feels some of them. So knowing which ones you feel and when can help you know when you're feeling a level 5. When I start to get a really strong headache right here and my vision kind of blurs a little bit at the top where I'm supposed to be seeing the sky, I know that means I'm feeling stressed out. I get headaches like that sometimes. And I know that I should do something to relax myself. Get a drink of water, lay down, listen to some music, read a book. Those are things I can do when I start to feel level 5, and I know physically how my body's gonna react. Zoe, when you get the butterflies in your tummy, is there anything that you know to do to calm yourself down?
Usually I take deep breaths, and then I think about how I'm not like the only person on stage. And even if I was, I'd probably just be like, it's okay because you can do this. It's sort of like confidence and like helping yourself.
That's awesome. That's a really good way to think about it. Our lesson for today is pretty much over. In conclusion, that means summing everything up in summary, everybody has strong feelings and everybody has regular level feelings. Strong feelings, regular level feelings. Those feelings can be all in your head or they can manifest throughout your body. Your hands, your knees, your chest, your tummy. Those are all normal. I'd like you to take a little bit of time after this video and maybe think to yourself, when I feel a strong emotion, how do I know that? How does my body react? And then when you watch our next video, you'll learn some tips on how to calm yourself down, how to take yourself from a 5 down to a 2 or a 1. And that's when you can make the best decisions. Sound good, Zoe? Mm-hmm. All right, bye everybody. We miss you very much, and we hope to see you very soon.
Bye.
Bye.